right? While technology is there to facilitate, we still have a duty to be structured. So we're going to come to you, sir. Structure. And I think this really speaks to what both of you guys have talked about, is being able to have something that, I mean, we're lucky today to have two people that have almost actually three people that have a well-defined process and structure. And four, there you go.
I like you. I just had you left out.
A well-defined process. And so that means that you guys are, believe it or not, you're eligible to now introduce technology. But wait, you're already using technology, right? I mean, we've gone through a host of stuff here that this guy, Blaze here, is using. And I know what Penda is using. What we said, and I think this makes the conversation really easy, because as we move forth in this digital space, I cannot overemphasize the value of structure, defining a business and having a structure and putting the solution. Now, what I really now begin to challenge all of you, especially Blaze, as I hear multiple solutions, we're moving into an age where we want to start paying attention to consolidating everything in one place. And the reason is many. You have to deal with updates. There's so many things right now you're one kind of the brains of the organization. When your team, how many total, you have maybe 100 people?
About 70 plus.
70, okay, 70 plus. I think from time to time I will say it here, I work with a team of over 350,000 people. That gets crazy, right? You have to now start to think about, when we have to make any slight change, who does it affect and what level of capacity do we need to train people? So as you grow, these solutions become complicated to manage. So I will seriously encourage people to start looking at one spot that handles most of your stuff. Companies that are positioned to grow, and they can consolidate things in a way because it's just easier to manage in terms of costs. These companies that I have worked with over time, I remember when I was at Chase, I mean, it's just for us to originate alone. I mean, we go through maybe 4 or 5 systems. We have document system, we have appraisal systems, and today we still do. And so now we use what we call loan origination system. And let me tell you, the first thing every time we're dealing with a loan origination system, she doesn't deal with it because she's on the front end. We want to know how many companies and products is integrated to your loan origination system. That business now is very fierce. So if you come in like something like Ellie Mae, right, we want to make sure is Equifax integrated, all my credits, is it integrated? All my B2B, so can a broker come in from an outside and submit a loan application? Can I do appraisals? Can I do title search? Can I do what are all the suites of integration? And so for the past several years, we're moving into this solution where for companies that are small, you can manage multiple solutions. But as you grow, and I can tell you, you're really growing. Because if we move that 70 to 700, this becomes very difficult to go through. And then, you wanted to say something, Cindy? Manage. And really, much of my purpose in this workshop is to talk to us about positioning ourselves for scaling. This is what I've done for these companies. We've built it, we've grown them to thousands and thousands. I really do with large companies. I think the minimum I've worked is probably 50,000 people. And those are very small. 50,000 is really small. Over the past 17 years, everything is 200, 300, 400, 500,000 people. And to manage that kind of capacity and all the systems that goes in, what I've seen even as a senior executive is just very difficult to consolidate all the systems that is needed. And so as we grow, let's contemplate this notion of systems consolidation. Look for solutions that allows us to do most of this stuff. And here is why. If I have a system that integrates with Stripe, or Slack, I don't have to worry about all the conversations with Slack anymore. I just go to my people and I say, this component is not working. You guys worry about it, because you just want to focus on your job as a professional and let the software people deal with all the headaches, right? If Slack is down and my solution is not working, let my software company deal with it. So let's start to think about when we are using more than 3 systems, let's start to think about how do we bring them together, or look for anybody that offers that solution. Otherwise, it just gets very complicated as we morph. Our digital age is really growing, and as you guys can see now with the emergence of AI and ChatGPT driving the solutions in one, everything now is, think about it. If you go to online right now and you want to write anything or do literally anything, ChatGPT is your one source that will do much of everything. And why is that the case? Well, that is because the open technology really embodies the component or this conversation of API. And we're saying we can send everybody into this box and then we can cook dinner right here. Everybody can cook from right here. And so because of these solutions can manage all the infrastructure changes and all the ubiquities in terms of all the open stuff that is happening, centralizing it allows ChatGPT to be able to say, go to Bing and search, just keep a keyword, and it's going to go through the universe of data everywhere and bring it all together in one house. And that just reinforces the idea that we need to start to centralize information, even in our businesses, in a central place. Let the technology company worry about the integration, because I'm telling you, you cannot keep up if you're not a technologist. I'm going to say it again. You cannot keep up. I was doing a lecture this week, and it's a programming class. So I teach heavy programming. And I was showing the students how many programs that is now open technology that is out there in the wild for people to learn. It used to be something as CSS, HTML, JavaScript, Java, simple stuff, .NET, C#. That number is in the thousands now, and it's growing every day. So if you want to learn, where do you start? It goes from 10, 20, it's just so much. And all of it builds on top of another. So it's not as if much of this is new. At the end of the day, we're still dealing with variables and zeros and ones. But the technologies now are really expanding, and so it's just mind-numbing to keep up. So find a trusted solution and grow with them. And make sure, and this is the key, that in any solution that you are, that when it's time for you to leave, you can leave and pack your stuff. Because sometimes it's not easy to walk away. They will take everything. You will shut down, you will lose everything. And so does this solution have what I take? And when this marriage is done, can I carry all my stuff and walk away? And what is the strategy to do that? Ask those questions because it's important. Otherwise, you're going to start to see specialists of everything. In fact, when we talk about Power BI here, you can have almost 10, 15, 20 technologies right here. But it's consolidated into one. And so if you open, say, Power BI or one of these power reporting tools, you're going to see that the amount of databases that they connect is so many. And each of those databases is a technology world of its own. And so we try to abstract all of this from you and say, just focus on the key thing. And so what am I saying here in essence? That first, while this is what we're dealing with, let's start to articulate what is a structure in our business process. Define that process, and I think I've said this before. When you have a process, and let's say this is a process, and we've talked about it. Luckily for us, Blaze process is nice, just nice, right? Especially this You sit down there, yeah, we work 7 days a week, but really, here's the menu, here's the service, and pay. Beautiful. Love it, right? Very simple, but that's not the case with you, right? You got to go through a lot of stuff, and then we've seen some of these. And so I am always of the opinion, and I know when it comes to your DJ booking, this is where it gets a little complicated. Define what the process are and constantly look for ways to reduce it for the customer. We have a very, I'm preaching to the choir, impatient generation with our customers. They define more. They are asking for more. And even though it works today, is a 3-step process, somebody's going to look at this and say, this is too much. Why don't we just do 2? And somebody's going to say 1. And Amazon now is where it's, instead of you ordering and we can deliver it in a day, we want to do same day delivery. And now they're doing 4-hour delivery. Now they're building a technology that before you order, we're just going to deliver it. If you don't want to send it back. Think about that concept. In other words, even that 3 steps, and when you reduce it to 1, we're going to say, what about if it's 0? You're not even thinking. Because think about this. How many, I know I live at Amazon on a lot of stuff. There are certain things that I buy maybe monthly, every other month. Sometimes I don't want to sign a subscription. Sometimes I do, sometimes I forget. And they're looking at my behavior. They're looking at my data. They can see it. Because after 2-3 years, we can start to narrow that behavior. And we're going to say, we're going to send Chris this every month on this day. And if you don't want it, just send it back.
Stitch Fit. Stitch Fit. Stitch, you know the Stitch Fit? They send you clothes.
I see.
And then if you try them, if you don't want them, you send them back.
There you go.
And they just send you stuff that they think that you like. They're already doing it. Oh my God.
And then you on the phone customer service, like, why y'all charge my car $800.26?
Yeah.
Because you forgot to cancel it?
Yeah. And what are we saying here? That even when your process is good, you please and please, I have spent a lot of time on this word.